Hello to all the engineers, future data analysts, software developers, and upcoming role models to an entirely new and interesting session by PrepInsta. My name is Divyang Srivastava, and you know me very well as your aptitude mentor. A lot of students regularly comment on our videos expressing gratitude and their real, honest opinion for the quality material that we are providing them. So I thought to deliver much better keeping in mind the upcoming placement drives. So I thought of familiarizing you with a 10 short tricks that help you that gonna make your approach towards aptitude much easier, and now you can solve the questions within second with these particular tricks because your selection is our motto. Always keep one thing in your mind, that aptitude is just a game of two things. First thing is short tricks for less time consumption, and second is your consistency and your practice for concept building and for regular approach. So let us start the session. These all are our social media handles. All you need to do is just go and follow us on all the social media platforms so that you get the hiring updates at earliest. Also, the top 3 comments will get free access to PrepInsta Prime. All you need to do is just write down the honest opinions regarding the sessions and whatever challenges you are facing with regard to your studies, and we will surely address to all your problems. So let us start with the first question. I am just giving you 10 seconds to go through the questions, and all you need to do is to write down the answer in the comment box. The question that has been given is: a monkey climbs a 60-meter high pole. In first minute he climbs 6 meter and slips down 3 meter in the next minute. How much time is required by it to reach the top? It is very common question, and over the time it has been asked multiple times in your previous assessment examination, and it is highly recommended to solve these questions particularly, and with the help of tricks you can just see and approach this question without pen and paper, right? So what would be the ideal technique? I can give you the answer without pen and paper, that 37 minutes would be the answer. How I approach it? Just look at the right convenient short trick that I have applied here, right? So all you need to particular analyze this question is, given a height is 60 meter. Now the monkey is very notorious. What he is doing is, he just go up in first minute for the 6 meter, up 6 meter he goes up, and in the next 1 minute he slips down 3 meters. So suppose he go for the 6 meter, then he jump and come down for the later 3 meters, then he goes for 6 meter, and then he jump back for the next 3 meters. So whatever he is doing is, he is following a pattern. So considering the pattern, what we can do is, we can also approach this question with the help of pattern only. So in first minute, in 1 minute, he is traveling 6 meter, he is stepping 6 meter above the pole. In the later onward second minute, what he is doing is, he is stepping down, that means he is coming down for the 3 meter. So can we see the pattern here? The pattern is, he is going to and fro motion, he is following the to and fro motion. So net particular distance travel for the 2 minutes would be, this would be plus 6 minus 3, that is 3 meter. That means in a time frame of 2 minutes he is traveling 3 meters. Now he is following the same pattern for the rest of the time, right? The question that has been asked is, we need to determine the time by which it reached to the top. So in 2 minutes he is covering 3 meters. So what we have to do is, always remember one thing, the positive distance that he has been traveling, just deduce that particular distance from the total distance. We will get 54 meter, right? So if in 2 minutes he is traveling 3 meters, I am just writing down the particular data. In 2 minutes he is traveling 3 meters, right? So we need to find in how many minutes he is traveling 54, he is covering 54 meters. So this is nothing but 18 times. So time would also be 18 times, that is 36 minutes. So in a span of 36 minutes, he already travels 54 meter. Now the question is, in how many minute he travels for 60 meter. So 54 meters is already been covered. Now he is left with 6 meter distance which he will cover in the next 1 minute. Why 1 minute? Because in first 1 minute in a pattern he is traveling 6 meters. So the total time would be 36 plus 1, that is 37 minute. So answer to this particular question would be 37 minute. Got it? That was the quickest way by which we should approach this question. Now comes how we can solve this question without pen and paper, right? So all we have to determine is, we have to form the pattern in to and fro motion. So in first minute he is climbing 6 meters. In second minute he is slipping down for 3 meters. So net distance travel was, in 2 minute he was traveling for 3 meters. So by this particular data we can approach this question. Total distance was 60. We have to deduce the first positive distance from the given height. So 60 minus 6 would be 54, right? So we have to see in how many minute he is traveling for 54 minute. So this was 18 times. 18 times of 2 minute would be 36 minute. So in 36 minute he has already covered 54 meter of height. In next 1 minute he will add the top. So 36 plus 1 will sum up to 37 minute. Got it? So I have another question for you guys. Just take 20 seconds and try to write down the right answer of this particular question. The price of sugar is increased by 30%. Due to this, a woman purchased 12 kg less sugar, so that her expenditure will increase by 10% only. Find her original consumption. Right? It is a very famous question, and repeatedly it has already been asked in actual examination. 90% of students fail to answer the right question. What would be the approach? So for solving this particular question, all you need to remember one thing, that is P into C is equal to amount. What is P and C refers to? P refers to the price, that is the price of sugar in this particular case. K is the consumption, or we can say it is also referred to as quantity. So the product of price and consumption will give us the total amount, right? There could be many questions that can be formed around this particular situation. अब यहाँ पे there might be possible reasons कि यहाँ पे price को determine करने को कर दिया जाए, या there could be a situation where consumption could be asked, or they may be asked about the amount. ठीक है? So in the given question we have 3 variables, right? It is been seen over the instances कि ऐसा हो सकता है कि 3 variables में 2 variables given है, and you have to determine the third variable. 2 variable could be anything, that could be price, consumption or amount, right? It could be also possible कि given question में amount is being kept constant and we need to find the relation between the price and consumption, right? So इसके अलावा में there could be multiple ways through which we have to determine the question. Now comes to the actual question that has been asked in the given particular example. So we are given with the price of sugar is increased by 30%, right? So best approach to solve this particular question is, we could write down as initial and final, right? Final divided by initial, and whatever quantities we are being given, we will just attach, we will just align as per the initial price to the final price, initial consumption to the final consumption, and initial amount to the final amount. Now look at the question. The price of sugar is increased by 30%. Whenever a quantity is being increased by 30%, that means we can write as P initial upon P final. I am multiplying with the consumption, that is C initial upon C final is equal to final amount, that is amount initial upon amount final, right. So by helping out by using this particular formula, we can approach the given question. Got it? This is nothing but the product of price into consumption in both of the cases, that is initial and final cases. Got it? So now put out the values as per the given situations, P initial and P final. So price was increased by 30%. That means if initial price of sugar was 100, then final price would be 130, because there was 30% increase in sugar price as per the given question. Then we are not known about the consumption, we are just given that it is been less by 12 kg, and amount or the expenditure, amount is also called the expenditure. Now as per the question, expenditure increased by 10% only. That means if expenditure was earlier 100 and if it increased by 10%, that means 100 plus 10 will become 110. So by solving this particular condition, we get CF upon CI. So 100 and 100 would be cancelled out from here, 10 10 will cancel out, and we are left with CF upon CI. As per the given condition, it would be 11 upon 13. So what we are left with? We left about the ratios of consumption in the initial and consumption to the final. Now the ratio would be 11 upon 13. That means if 13 was earlier been used, that is it was consumed earlier, then final consumption would be 11. Now come to the actual question. Actual question, as per the actual data, it was 12 kg less, but as per our assumption, it is just 2 kg. The difference is just 2 kg. That means we have to equate, we have to balance the ratios. So यहाँ पे कितना balance है? यहाँ पे we have 2 difference, but as per the question, the value of 2 units is equal to the 12 kgs, right. These values is in ratios. तो अब ratios को equate करोगे, you need to balance as per the questions. So the ratio of 2 unit is equal to 12 kg. That means ratio of 1 will become 6 kg. Ratio of 1 will become 6 kg. Now what we have to find out? We have to determine the original consumption. So original consumption will become 13 into 6. So 13 into 6 would be 78 kg, and that would be the answer, right. But in actual examination, you don't have to solve, you don't have to keep this particular calculation. Actual examination में क्या करना है? बस direct values put कर दो. So price will become 100 upon 100 to 130. This will become the ratio for the consumption final upon consumption initial, and this will become to the product of price and consumption will become the expenditure, and expenditure was 100 to 110 because it was increasing by 110. So from here we directly find CF upon CI, that would be 11 upon 30. Difference is 2, which will equate to 12 kgs, right. Value of 1 will become 6. So we have to find the original consumption. So original consumption will become 13 into 6, that is 78. So we will hardly take 15 seconds to solve these particular questions, right. This is the actual way how you should approach in actual assessment examination. So the next question is, the number of straight lines can be drawn out of 10 points, of which 7 of collinear, right. So for that matters, we don't have to follow the question through traditional method. We can apply the short trick. What is the short trick for this particular question is, you just have to determine the concept of collinear. What are collinear points? When number of points lie on the same line. So we are given with a condition where there are total 10 points and 7 lies on the same exact line. We need to determine the number of straight line that can be drawn. Okay, so it could be this particular question can be solved with the help of 3 steps. First of all, we need to find out the total number of a straight line from 10 given points. So what is the basic definition of a straight line? Whenever we join two different points, we get a line. All we can say, just by joining two points we get a line. It is a classic definition of a line. So from 10 given points, what we have to do is we have to do the selection of two particular points. So whenever there is a word of selection, we have to approach the concept of combination. So from 10 lines we have to select two of the given points. It could be solved with the help of 10C2. What is 10C2? How it can be solved? It could be solved with the help of 10 into 9, 2 times, and 2 into 1. So it will give us 5 into 9, that is 45 total lines. So 45 would be the answer when we are not given with the condition of 7 collinear points. Now what needed to be done? We have to remove the collinear points. Remove the collinear points. So how it could be removed? Acha, 7 points are collinear, right? That means they lie on the same line. Therefore any line passing through these particular 7 points would not be considered as a separate line. So what we have to do is we have to find the collinear points through which lines can be drawn. So 7 points are collinear and 2 points are required to form a single line. So answer would be 7 into 6 divided by 2 into 1. So it would be 21 lines. Now we have to remove 21 lines from the total 45 lines. So 45, so our answer would be third point, that is total points, that is 45 minus the lines which are formed with the help of collinear points. क्योंकि हमें ये reduce करना पड़ेगा because they lie on the same line. 7 lines are forming on the same lines. So we have to remove the 21 lines which are formed with the help of collinear points. So 45 minus 21. But there is a glitch here. There is a particular catch here, that is, suppose 7 lines form on the same plane. So a single line can also be formed with the help of given 7 points, right? If there are 7 total number of collinear points, we can form a single line by joining all the particular points. So single line could be also formed. So the right answer to this particular question would be 45 minus 20, that is 25. So what would be the right answer? The right answer would be option number A, that is 25. Got it? Let us approach to another question. We are given with a question from the chapter of average. There are 63 students in a class A whose average weight is 32 kgs and 21 students in class B whose average is 44 kg. What will be the average if the classes are combined? What will be the short trick? We can approach this question with the help of deviation method, right? अच्छा, हम ट्रेडिशनल मेथड से देखेंगे तो इट विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. व्हाट इज फॉर्मूला ऑफ एवरेज? एवरेज इज नथिंग बट सम ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशंस डिवाइड बाय टोटल वैल्यूज और टोटल नंबर ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशंस. So if we take the sum of class A, sum of class A, we will give 63 total number of student and they have a weight of 21, right? They have a weight of 32. So first we will find the sum of weight of section A. It will be 63 into 32. Then we will get the sum of weight of section B. There are total 21 students. Multiply by 44. It will be the total sum of section A and sum of weight of section B, right? On solving and on adding these particular datas, we will get the total number of weight in the classes combinedly, right? But it will take a lot of time to approach this particular question. So we are not going to use this particular traditional method. What we are going to use? we can approach these types of question with the help of deviation. Deviation की help से within just 10 seconds you can solve this particular question. यहाँ पे complex तुम्हें calculations भी नहीं करने पड़ेंगे, बहुत ज़्यादा time तुम्हारा save हो सकता है. What is deviation method? Let us see. So as the question says, we can distribute the given values as per two of the context. What will be the context? We are given with the datas and we are given with the average weight. Data is the number of person, so we are given with the 63 student here. Their average weight, if I talk about A and with regard to B. So in A there are 63 students and in B, section B, there are 21 students. The average of weight in section A is 32 kg and in B it is 44 kgs. Right? All we have to do is, first of all, we can check out and take the ratios of datas. Right? So ratio would be the simpler form, that is 3:1. Now the deviation method says deviation is nothing but the increase or decrease from the average value. What is average? Average is nothing but the mean value or the ideal value, idealistic value. So deviation क्या कहता है? What is the net change, net increase or decrease in the given values? So यहाँ पे we have a value of 32 kgs, here we have a value of 44 kg. ठीक है, इतनी चीज समझ में आई. Now the average of 32 and 44 will always lie between 32 और 44. जो हमेशा average value होगी, it will always lie between the two of the given values. So यहाँ पे दो values क्या है? 32 और 44. Right? अब दो value कोई भी you can choose. I am choosing 40. I am choosing the average weight as 40. So suppose if I take 40, if I take the average to be 40, right? All I have to find the deviation. How deviation is being found? Let us check very carefully. Now, I have assumed 40 as the average. So I have to take the net change, net increase or decrease. So 40 को when I am comparing, there is a shortening, there is a less of 8. अच्छा, यहाँ पे अगर 8 कम है, right? So there are 3 persons. We are taking the number of person, number of student as per the ratios. We get 3:1. So अगर 1 पे on the value of 1 unit we have a 8 shorten. 8 का यहाँ पे क्या है? Difference है. 8 is less. So the total difference would be, the total less value would be 8 into 3, that is 24. So deviation would be minus of 24. Now let us check for the section B. Section B, if I compare about the weights, so 40 or 44 में if I take the values, if I take the difference would be for 4 kgs. Right? यहाँ पे जो difference आएगा वो क्या होगा? यहाँ पे units क्या थी? Units का ratio was 1. So 4 into 1 would be the ratio. Deviation would be, difference was 8 into 3, this was 8 into 3. Just to make you more understand about the situation, I'm just writing it down. Deviation would be, say, this would be minus 8 into 3. Right? So minus 8 into 3 plus 4 into 1. Now the change is among all the particular student. अब ये जो deviation होगा, it would be distributed among the whole number of student. The ratio of whole number of student was 3 plus 3 and 1. So 3 and 1 would be the whole net deviation. So minus 8 into 3 will give us 24. And from here we get plus of 4. And it will be distributed among all the particular ratios, that is 3 plus 1, that is 4. So minus 24 plus 4 will give 20. Minus 20 divided by 4 will give minus of 5. That means there is a deviation of minus 5 from which weight we have considered. तो हमने यहाँ पे assumption what weight we have assumed as the average? We have assumed 40 as the average. यहाँ पे deviation is minus 5. That means 40 minus 5 will give 35. So the right answer would be 35 would be the average of the both of the classes when they are considering as a combination. Got it? this is the ideal way to approach these particular question in actual examination. It will hardly take 8 to 10 seconds. What you have to do is just find out the deviation. What is deviation? Deviation is the difference between or decrease or increase from the average given value. What is the average? We have considering, we have assumed 40. 40 के अलावा भी आप assume कर सकते हो, right? If you take in contrast, if you take any value between 32 and 44, if you assume any value between 32 and 44, the answer would be the same, right? Next question. This particular question can be also solved with the help of particular deviation technique. So I wanted to familiarize you with this particular technique. I'm just giving you 10 seconds. All you need to do is you can pause the videos or you can take the screenshots so that you can first solve this question with the help of traditional method, and then I will make you aware about what are the short techniques through which these questions can be solved. A rice worth of 126 per kg and 135 per kg. So we are given with the data. What is data? Data is amount in which they are being distributed, and we are given with the price, right? Price is 126 per kg. Then we have a second variety of rice that has been used, that is 135. Then we are being used, we have to find the third variety of rice which we need to determine, right? And the average weight of the mixture is 153 kg per kg, and the ratios in which these particular rice are being distributed is 1:1:2. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे what we need to determine? We need to determine the value of x, right? This is the first variety of rice. Just to make you more aware about this particular situation, this is first variety of rice, then it would be second variety of rice, and this would be the third variety of rice. And here comes in picture the mixture, right? So यहाँ पे basically हो क्या रहा है? Ideally what we are doing is we are mixing all these particular variety of rice to form a mixture, and mixture has been worth of rupees 153. What we need to determine? We need to determine in which ratios, in which we need to determine the price of the third variety of rice. What would be the price of third variety of rice? So what would be the weight of mixture? Okay, how we can find out? We can find it out with the help of ratios given. The ratios of three varieties are 1:1:2. So what would be the sum? Sum would be 1 + 1 + 2, that is 4. So weight of the mixture, weight of the data would be 4. These all particular values are in the form of ratios, right? आप देखो इसमें solve कैसे करना है? All we have to find with the help of deviation, right? What deviation says? We have to consider, we have to assume the average value. What is the average value? 153. अब यहाँ से बहुत ध्यान से देखना. Average value is 153. All we need to determine, we have to compare the given values, right? So if we compare the first variety of rice, it is 126 price. Price is 126. How much difference is there? How much variation is being seen? So deviation is for, see, 27. Deviation is, we can say, net increase or decrease. So how much net increase or decrease is there? We have a decrease of 77. And 27 net increase and decrease, we are using 1 unit, that means into 1, and there is a decrease, right? So we will use negative sign to demonstrate the net change. Now comparing the second particular variety of rice, it costs 135. What is the net change? It changes minus of 18, right? So then minus of 18, it would be the net deviation. What would be the total increase or decrease? Total increase or decrease would be minus 27 minus 18, that is minus of 45. तो यहाँ से what we can determine? We can observe that the deviation of minus 45 is there from the net particular average weight of the mixture. So 45 लेस हो रहा है यहाँ पे, that means जो थर्ड वैरायटी होगा ना उसका प्राइस विल बी डेफिनेटली +45. अच्छा, वो +45 क्यों होगा? ताकि वो बैलेंस कर सके इस पार्ट को. यहां से देयर इज अ नेगेटिव डेविएशन जस्ट टू काउंटर, जस्ट टू बैलेंस द पर्टिकुलर एवरेज. एवरेज क्या होता है? हमेशा किसी भी चीज का इन बिटवीन वैल्यू, द मीन वैल्यू, द एवरेज वैल्यू. सो इन ऑर्डर टू लाइक इक्वलाइज, इन ऑर्डर टू बैलेंस दिस पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू, यहाँ पे क्या होना चाहिए? +45 होना चाहिए, राइट? +45 होना चाहिए. तो 45 ऑन 2 अमाउंट, बिकॉज थर्ड वैरायटी में कितना अमाउंट यूज हो रहा है? वी आर यूजिंग 2 अमाउंट्स. सो द नेट वैल्यू वुड बी 45 डिवाइड बाई 2, दैट इज 22.5. सो नेट डेविएशन यहाँ से कितना होना चाहिए? 22.5 वुड बी द डेविएशन फ्रॉम द थर्ड वैरायटी प्राइस. 22.5 वुड बी द नेक्स्ट नेट वेरिएशन, राइट? यहाँ पे नेगेटिव टू डिमोन्स्ट्रेट दैट देयर इज अ डिफरेंस, देयर इज अ लैग ऑफ -45 यूनिट्स. सो यहाँ पे नेट डेविएशन कितना होगा? +22.5. अच्छा, what we are taking in consideration about the average value? Average value was 153. So 153 plus 22.5 would be the price of third variety of rice. So 153 plus 22.5, that means it would be 175.5. So the price of third variety of rice would be 175.5. Got it? So we can apply the deviation method to find the net increase or decrease in the price. Now comes with another question, that is from time, speed and distance. The average speed of a bus was slowed down by 10 km/h due to bad weather in the journey. As a result, the bus reached the destination by 30 minutes late. The total distance was 550 km. Find the normal time required to reach the particular destination. It is a very viral question and it has been repeatedly asked in your assessment examination. So what would be the ideal way in which we can approach this question within just seconds of time? Just all you need to do is you have to understand the first of all the question. So for any question which relate to the time, speed and distance, we can relate with the help of formulas. What would be the formulas? Formula would be distance is equal to product of speed and time. And in the given scenario, what we are given with? We are given with, if in condition the average speed of a bus was slowed down by 10 km/h due to a bad weather in the journey. As a result, the bus reached the destination 30 minutes late. Since he slowed down the speed, the bus automatically will take more time. If the total distance was 550 km, find the normal time required to reach the destination. So in this particular scenario, what we can do is, whenever we are given with the condition of reaching or arriving early or late, in this scenario we can just manipulate this particular question approach with the help of distance will become, in this particular scenario, distance is equal to S1 into S2. What is S1 and S2? S1 and S2 would be the initial speed and the final speed, or the first speed or the second speed, divide by S2 minus S1 or S1 minus S2, right? You can take the difference of both the speed multiplying with the T2 minus T1. What is T2 minus T1? It is the difference of the time consumed in the given particular question. So this would be the ideal formula that you can use in order to describe the particular situation, and with this particular formula you can approach this question. Now how we can approach? All we need to do is the distance. In this particular question, distance given is 550. So write down 550 is equal to the product of the given speed. What will be the product of given speed? The bus slowed by 10 km per hour. So let us take the initial speed, that is S1 is equal to x. So the final speed would be x minus 10 because it is slowed by down by 10 km per hour. So it would be x into x minus 10. Acha, divide by what we are taking in denominator part, we will take in denominator part, in denominator we will take S2 minus S1 or S1 minus S2, whatever is bigger. So S2 minus X1 will give the difference of 10 and we have to take the delta t, or we will take the difference of T2 minus T1. Acha, in the given question what is T2 minus T1? It will become destination, he was reaching the destination 30 minutes late. ठीक है, तो दोनों सिनारियोस में इन सेकेंड सिनारियो when he was slowing down by 10 km per hour, actually he was taking 30 minutes more time. ठीक है, तो this is the difference. Difference will become 30 minutes, that is 30 by 60, or we can say 1 by 2. So T2 minus T1 will become 30 minute, that is 30 by 60 hours, that will become 1 by 2 hours, right? So our next step would be to solve this particular equation. So we are left with 10 denominator, 2 denominator and 550 here. So when we cross multiply, we will be left with 550 into 10 into 2, and this will become x into x minus 10. Now हम यहाँ पे शॉर्ट ट्रिक क्या कर सकते हैं, हम क्या यहाँ पे इसको इक्वेशन बनाएं. अच्छा, क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन इफ वी फॉर्म इट विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. तो क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन नहीं बनाते हैं, बल्कि वी कैन फाइंड द मल्टीपल्स एंड अरेंज देम इन ऑर्डर ऑफ x एंड x माइनस 10, राइट. सो यहाँ पे क्या कर सकते हैं, वी कैन जस्ट अरेंज दिस पर्टिकुलर वैल्यूज इन सच अ वे कि यहाँ पे हमारा जो प्रोडक्ट आ जाए, फैक्टर्स आ जाए, वो x माइनस 10 के फॉर्म में आ जाए. सो वी कैन राइट इट डाउन एज 5 into 11 into 10, and we can write it as 10 into 2 is equal to x minus 10. Got it? Now can we just write down, can we just form these particular factors in form of x and x minus 10? If I just clearly observe this particular values, I can find it out as 5 into 10, that is 50, 50 into 10, that is 100, and from here we have 11 and 10 left. So 11 into 10 will give 110, and it will equal to the x and product of x minus 10. Now if we just clearly observe the given particular condition, and if we just compare it with the x, we can say that the value of x from here would be 110, right. So we can say that value of x would become 110 and the value of x minus 10 would be 100, right. How we can say this? We have just compare the given equation. From here we can say x is equal to 110. That means initial speed was 110 km per hour. Now as per the question, total distance was 550, initial speed was 110 km per hour, and we need to find the normal time required. So time is nothing but distance travel divided by speed, right. So distance travel was 550 divided by speed was 110, so it will be 5 hours. So the answer to this question would be option number D, that is 5 hours. Got it? Can we just move to ahead with the next question? So we have another question on the screen, that is a vendor purchased 2400 articles at rupees 120 per article. He sold 37.5% of the total articles at 24% profit and rest on 16% loss. What is the overall profit or loss percentage? So this question can be done in multiple ways, right. Traditional method says that first of all we need to find the CP, that is the cost price. So the total cost price will become 2400 into, let me just make you more elaborate about the question. So total CP will be, there are sum total 12400 articles and their cost price would be 120. So total CP will be this particular product, right? Then we have to find the total SP. How we can find the total selling price? See, he sold 37.5%. 37.5% means if we just convert this percentage value in fraction value, we will get 3 by 8. That is 3 by 8 of the total articles. So total articles were 2400 multiply with 24% profit he was aiming. So 124% profit will sum up to 124. So the product of this will be the net selling price from selling first article. So ये first article के regard में हो गया और total SP with regard to second particular item would be, अच्छा 3 by 8 would be sold at 24% profit. तो जो left out होंगे ना, left out would be 5 by 8. Left out value would be 5 by 8, which is 62.5%, which is the remaining or the left out part. So it would be 5 by 8 portion of 2400. And the second portion, the rest articles was sold at a loss of 16% value. Loss of 16% will become 100 minus 16, that is 84. अभी अगर इनको सम करोगे you will get the total SP and the difference would be profit or loss, and then we need to find the total or profit or loss percent. But this particular technique will take a lot of time to solve, right? So we won't have to approach this question with this particular technique. Traditional method is very time consuming. So can we solve this particular question with the help of deviation technique? Right. How we can solve? We can just write down the data and the change percentage. So data is collectively combination of two particular scenarios, that is 37.5%. It is the first data, and second data would be left out portion, that is 62.5%, and the percentage profit or loss would be on this particular 37.5 articles he is gaining 24% profit, and on the left portion, that is 62.5 article, he was bearing a loss of 16%. So for loss we will use a right sign convention, that is negative point, right? Can we just take these percentage values in terms of fraction value? Definitely. This would be 37.5% is nothing but 3 by 8. That means this is nothing but, we can say it is in form of fraction value, that is 3, and the leftover part would be 8 minus 3, that would be 5. So we get the fraction value. So from here what we can do is we can find the net percentage, net profit or loss percentage, net profit or loss percentage. So net profit from here would be, on articles 3 they are having a profit of 24%. 24% profit on one articles, that means on combinedly 3 articles, 3 unit, they are having a total 72% profit. On one article he was bearing a 16% loss. So on collective 5 articles he will bearing 16 into 5, that is minus of 80% loss. So net profit or loss would be plus of 72 minus of 80%, that is minus 8%. But this 8% loss will be distributed among the total number of articles. So total number of articles in particular values would be, यहाँ पे ratio method से we were taking in context with the 3 plus 5, that is total 8 articles. So minus 8% is the net loss on 8 articles. So on one article it would be minus 8 divided by 8. So it will give minus 1%. Minus 1 क्या signify करेगा? Minus 1% signify that there is a loss of 1%. So option B would be the appropriate answer. Got it? Let us jump to another question. It is a classic example of question based on time, speed and distance. Two trains X and Y start from station A and B towards B and A respectively. After passing each other, they take 4 hours, 48 minutes and 3 hours, 20 minutes to reach B and A respectively. If train X is moving at 40 km per hour, the speed of train Y is. So what would be the ideal method to approach this particular question? I am just giving you 10 seconds so that you can solve this particular question. So, अब इस question को how we can approach? Just visualize the question with the help of systematic diagram. Two trains X and Y. Suppose we have two trains X and Y and they both started at two different cities, that is point A and B. Okay. Just to make you visualize about the given scenarios, I am just using the visualization of this particular journey. So, after passing each other, suppose they both are coming towards each other. Train X is traveling from A to B and Y is traveling from B to A. Now, suppose they both meet at this particular point. Suppose अभी X यहाँ से गया और यहाँ पे मिला to the or B started from this particular point and he met X at this particular given point. Now X, after reaching here, he will reach to this particular point and complete the journey, and Y, after meeting this particular point, he reached to this particular point and complete his journey. Now as per the question, they will take 4 hours, 48 minutes and 3 hours and 20 minutes to reach B and A respectively. If train X is moving at 40 km per hour, the speed of train Y is being asked, right? So all you need to do is, you have to keep in mind one concept: the ratio of the speed of the two trains is always inversely proportional to the time taken to reach their respective destination after they meet, right? So if there is any situation, any scenario with regard to the destination point, always remember that under root of T1 upon under root of T2 is always equal to the S2 upon S1. What are T2 and T1? T1 and T2 are the reaching point or reaching time, destination time, and S2 upon S1 is the speed of the train, right? Now we have to convert the values and put the values as per the given formulas. 4 hours 48 minutes, right? 4 hours and 48 minutes. So it could be converted as 4 plus 48 by 60. So this value will become 4 plus 4 by 5 and it will become 24. 4 plus 4 by 5 and it will become 24 by 5. Correct? And the time, it will become T1 and T2 is 3 hours 20 minutes. That means 3 plus 2 by 6, that is 3 plus 1 by 3. It will be, I am just writing down directly here, 3 plus 1 by 3 value, it will become 10 by 3. Okay, the value will become 10 upon 3. Now put the values as per the given conditions. Okay, under root of T1, it will become under root of 24 by 5, then divided by under root of 10 by 3. So it is the difference of, it is the fraction of T1 upon T2, that is the ratio of time taken, and we have to equate the given speeds, right? Speed of X was 40, so 40 will come to this particular position and here we can approach to S2, right? So 24 by 5 divided by 10 by 3. So if we just solve the particular equation, we will get from here we will get under root of 24 into 3 will be 72, and from here we get 50. On dividing, on minimizing it, we will get 36 by 25. So this value will become 36 by 25 under root. So the fraction will become 6 by 5. So I am just erasing this particular values, and given the scenario I am just writing 6 by 5. So from here we will get the S2. 5 8 as a and 8 6 a would be the value of S2. S2 will become 48. 8 6 a will give us 48. So answer to this question would be 48 km per hour, right? So now we have another question on the screen, that is, if you roll two fair 6-sided dice, what is the probability that the sum is 9 or higher? In order to solve this question, first of all you have the clarity of probability. So probability actual में what is probability? Number of favorable outcome divided by total number of outcome, or you can say the required space or the required event divided by total number of spaces or total number of sample spaces, or the required observation divided by all possible outcomes. Okay. So what you need to do is you have to determine the possibility that the obtained sum is 9 or higher. अब इसको ट्रिक से देखो कैसे करना है. If you go with the traditional method, it will take a lot of time because you have to find the number of outcome, that is sum is 9, 10, 11 or 12. Right? If you go with the sample spaces, it will take a lot of time. So in this particular scenario, trick will be very helpful. How trick would be approached? Just look at the board very carefully. We have the sample spaces. We will write the first of all the sample spaces. Or we can take in context with the outcomes. Or then again we will take the outcomes here, and in between we will take the sample spaces. और frequency. अच्छा देखो अब यहाँ पे होगा क्या, right? How we can learn this particular trick is very easy. The sum of the minimum sum of the two dices would be 2. फिर 2 के बाद it would be possible that it might be 3, 4, 5, 6. अभी 6 पे just stop here, right? Now 7 will come in between part, that is 7 here. अब क्या करोगे? Write down the later onward number in the increasing order. तो 7 के आगे 8, just write down the number parallel to it, 9, then 10, then 11, then 12. Maximum sample space, the maximum outcome would be 12. तो या तो फिर sum, minimum sum would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 could be possible reason. फिर 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 would be the maximum outcomes, right? अब यहाँ पे what you need to remember is the frequencies. Frequency means number of times. अच्छा minimum 2 sum कब आ सकता है? It could be only possible with 1 and 1. Maximum would only be possible in a situation when 6 and 6 come on the dices, right? 3 कब आ सकता है? 3 could be possible either 1-2 scenario or 2-1 scenario, that means 2 times. अब देखो यहाँ पे remember how to remember it. 2 and 12 will come only 1 times. Then 3 and 11 will come 2 times. 4 and 10 will come 3 times. 5 and 9 will come 4 times. 6 and 8 both will come 5 times. And 7 will come 6 times. तो यहाँ से how we can remember that the total outcomes, the given outcomes will go in increasing order from here to here. The number of frequency or the sample spaces will come in the particular increasing order. और यहाँ पे ये क्या कर दो, इसको यहाँ पे increasing order में लिख लो, right? So you can learn this particular tricks, and this particular trick would be very useful in finding the probability questions. Now come to the question. Question was find the probability that the sum is 9 or higher. 9 or higher means it could be sample space could be 9, 10, 11 or 12, right? So probability is required outcome divide by total outcome. What is the required outcome? Required outcome is can be 9. So 9 comes for 4 times, 10 comes 3 times, 11 comes 2 times, 12 comes 1 times. And divide by total outcomes. What is the number of total outcomes? There are 6. It is the formula that has been used for finding the total outcomes. So here we are using 2 particular dices और यहाँ पे 6 particular क्या होते हैं, faces होते हैं. तो 6 to the power 2 would be the total number of possible outcomes. So the answer would be 10. 4 plus 3 7, 7 plus 2 9, 9 plus 1 would be 10. 10 divided by 6 to the power 2, that is 10 divided by 36. So answer would be 5 divided by 18. So 5 by 18 would be the answer, that is option number D. Correct. Next let us come to the next question. What x is added to each of the given numbers, that is 10, 16, 22, 32. The number is obtained in this order are in proportion. What is the main proportion between the numbers x plus 1 and 3x plus 1? Now comes to the traditional part. Traditional method क्या कहता है? How we can approach this question? The question is saying that if we add x to all the numbers, then the given numbers are in proportion. That means 10 plus x, 16 plus x are in proportion with the 22 plus x divided by 32 plus x. Now, if we have to just solve the question and determine the values of x, it will take a lot of time, क्योंकि यहाँ पे we will form the quadratic equation, and to solve the quadratic equation, it will consume a lot of time. There is a particular trick by which we can approach this question. What is the trick of the day? What is the trick that can be used here? Just write down all the numbers. So all the numbers are 10, 16, 22 and 32. Right? Now, let us find out the differences of the given number. So from here, the difference would be 6. From here, the difference would be of 10. Now 6 and 10 are the differences. Just take the ratios of 6 and 10. The difference, the ratios of 6 and 10 would be 3:5. Now, all you need to do is, you have to multiply 5 with this particular number and 3 with this third number. So on multiplying the number 5 with 10, we will get 50. So x is nothing but multiplication of 5 into 10 and differences of 3 and 22 minus 3 into 22. And what later on you have to do is, you have to take the difference of 5 and 3 as well, or 3 or 5, either of you can take. So 5 into 10 would give you 50. 50 minus 22 into 3 would be 66. So from here we get 550 minus 66, and from here we get 2. So 16 by 2 will give the value of x, that is 8. Just avoid the values of say minus sign, because here we have 3 minus 5 now. So we can take a vice versa and we have the value of x, that is 8. अब देखो, value of x would be 8 and we have to find the mean proportion between the number of x plus 1 and 3x plus 1. So mean proportion is nothing but under root of given two numbers, that is a and b. Here in this particular scenario, what are the numbers? The numbers are x plus 1. That means the value of x is 8, x plus 1 would become 9, and the value of b is 3x plus 1. 3x will be 3 into 8, that is 24. 24 plus 1 will become 25. So from here we will get under root of 9 into 25, that is 3 into 5, that is 15. So answer to this question would be 15. Got it? So this trick could be applied in order to approach the question within just seconds of frame, right? And it will surely boost your confidence and reduce your time consumption. Now the same question for your practice. If x is subtracted from each of the following, that is 23, 39, 32, 56. You can approach the same question with the help of same formula, same short trick. That is, we have 23 number, 39 number, 32 number. Just put a comma here, and 56 number. all you need to do is take the differences. So from here we have a difference of 16, from here we have a difference of 24. Now all you need to do is take the ratios of the given differences, if there is a ratio. So ratio will be 2:3. Next step would be just multiplying 3 with the first number and 2 with the third number. So multiplying 3 with the 23 will give 23 into 3 minus of 2 into 32 will give 64. So from here we have 69 minus 64, and this will be distributed among x is equal to the difference of the product of the given number divided by, we will take in division with the help of 3 minus 2, that is 1. So from here we are also taking 1 with consideration. 69 minus 64 will be 5. So the value of x would be 5. Now what has been asked? The mean proportion between x plus 4, that is under root of x plus 4 will become 5 plus 4, that is 9, multiply by 3x plus 1, 3 times of 5, that is 15, 15 plus 1 would be 61, right? This would be the mean proportion. So under root of 9 would become 3, under root of 16 will become 4, 3 into 4 will become 12. So the right option would be option number A. So now we have another question on the screen. If Raisoni is written as particular given number values, that is 1102, 2010, 141520. So we have to determine the code for the letter, that is Nagpur. So first of all we have to find the pattern in which this particular letter words are being transformed into number values. So first of all, to solve this question from coding decoding, you have a basic idea of two things. One is the place values or the number values of different alphabet, number values of alphabet, and second one is reverse alphabets, reverse alphabetical orders. So how you can recall the reverse alphabetical order? How you can recall? Very easy trick is there. So the trick is you have to use the mnemonic techniques here. How mnemonic technique could be used? So we have a letter that is A and Z. A is the first alphabetical order and Z is the first from the reverse alphabetical order. So it could be recalled as, generally in North Indian families, the woman in the family recall or the refer to his spouse with the word AZ, AZ. Then we have B with the Y. So for that you can use a particular word, that is boy. For C and we have X. C is the third letter and X is the third reverse alphabetical order. इसको कैसे recall करोगे? You can recall it with the word cracks. Then we have D and W. For that matters we will use the word due, right? Then we have E and V. They are fifth alphabetical order and the fifth reverse alphabetical order. You can use electric vehicle, electric vehicle. Then we have F and U. For you, generally when we are gifting anyone, we use the word for you. So for F is represent as for, and for U we can represent you. Then we have GT road. To remember G with the alphabet, that is T. Then we have H and S. This is abbreviation for high school, high school. Then we have I with the R, that is Indian Railways. So I stand for Indian and R represent railways. Then we have J with Q, we can use Jacqueline. Then K with P, that is Kevin Peterson, Kevin Peterson, or you can remember it with the help of Kanpur. Then we have L with O, you can remember the terminology, that is love. Then at last we are left with M and N, you can remember with the letter man. So it is the classic example of all the alphabetical orders in which we can remember these particular letters. Now let us try to solve the question with the help of patterns. So Rai Soni, there is a word, it is written in the form of coded form with the help of 1 1 0 2 2 0, then 1 0 1 4 1 5 and 2 0. So first of all we need to find out the right pattern in which this particular letter is being used and rewrite in the form of particular numbers or numerical values. So R holds the 18th position, right, and the reverse of R is, as per the given, I have told you, IR, Indian Railways. I stand for the position of 9 and we are using 11 here. That means the reverse was 9 and we are adding 2 to it, right. We are going with the assumptions here. अभी हम सिर्फ assumptions देख रहे हैं, and if we satisfy the values ahead as well, we will find out the right, we will trace out the right pattern, right. So first of all go with the assumptions. So A stands at the position of 1 and opposite to A would be Z, and Z holds the 26th position. 26 plus 2 would be 1 and 2. That means here too we are applying the same pattern here. Then we have I is at number 9 and reverse of I is R, right. Reverse of I is R. So R holds the 18th position and 18 plus 2 will give us 20. That means here what pattern is following? We are just taking the reverse alphabetical orders and converting it into the number system, number values, and we are adding 2 position to it. Then we have S, as we can use high school. For H we are using the position that is 8 and we are moving 2 position ahead of it. So 8 plus 2 would be 10, right. अब आगे we don't need to cross check the other values, ठीक है. हमें यहाँ से pattern दिख गया, pattern is very common. हम यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं exactly? We are taking the reverses of the given letters and we are plus 2 adding plus 2 on the numerical values, right. So now we need to apply the same logic in the Nagpur as well. So for here we are using Nagpur. Reverse of N. Reverse of N would be M. M is at 13th position and 13 plus 2 would be 13 plus 2 will give to 15th. Now come to the particular. This option would be eliminated. We are given with 2 of the options. Then A. A is at first position. Reverse of A would be 26. 26 plus 2 will give 02. Now come to the option part. This will be eliminated. Only one option is there which is satisfying the given condition. So the right option would be option number C. I hope this particular video you find very informative, very knowledgeable, and all the short tricks that we have studied in this particular chapter are very relevant, and most of the repeated questions which are coming in your upcoming placement drives can be solved with these particular tricks, and it hardly takes 15 to 20 seconds to solve every question of aptitude, right. So don't forget to drop a comment so that you can have the access to Prep Insta Prime. Whatever challenges you are facing, whatever your viewpoint, whatever or opinion, your honest opinion regard with this particular chapter, right. So let me introduce with the Prep Insta Prime. It is basically a Netflix for upskilling. You will get an access of more than 200 courses under one subscription. So you can upskill yourself, you can learn coding, you can learn aptitude, everything on just one single platform. Let me make you more familiar with the what Prep Insta Prime is. So basically it is a Netflix for upskilling, as I have told you. If you go with the placement reports, then 95.6% students who have taken the courses of ours have been already placed, right. Then 71% of the students who have studied with us have more than 2 courses, more than 2 placements. Then if we go with the trending courses, these all are company specific courses, that is our courses which are focused on the TCS NQT, Infosys, Infitech, Cognizant agency examinations. If you have to learn the popular skills which are very relevant as far as your resumes for your interviews, then you can opt for different tracks, that is courses based on data science and data analytics, artificial intelligence, AWS clouds, and multiple number of particular skilling based courses. Also you will get a certification which is very relevant, which is very helpful. So you can learn the full stack courses, front end and back end development, popular courses if you are someone who is from non-IT background and want to switch to IT background, then this is the perfect place from where you can learn coding from a very beginner level, from very initial level, right? Then you can enhance your coding skills, learn C++, Java or Python, right? Or else if you are someone who is beginner for the placement related preparation, you can learn for aptitude related courses, psychometric, quantitative aptitude part, logical, verbal, everything on this particular platform. Also, not only you are getting the free video lectures, we are also giving you the consultations, one-to-one interaction. We are providing you with the absolute free mock test, quizzes and the study preparation materials. Also, we are going to help you with the your interview part. We have panel members from industrial experiences more than 20-30 years. They will be helping you out, they will be guiding you for your end-to-end preparation. You can use my coupon code, that is DIV10 to access. You can use my code, that is DIV10, to have the maximum discount for the PrepInsta Prime subscription. Don't forget, if you use this particular code, you will get the maximum possible coupon code discount. Also, all the 3 comments will get absolutely free PrepInsta Prime. So, just before ending this particular session, I just want to emphasize that if you are facing any sort of challenges with regard to your placement preparation or in real life with regard to your studies, you can drop a comment and our team will surely just address to your problems. That was all about the sessions. Just before leaving the sessions, I request you to share it among your friends so that maximum of the student can avail the opportunities and can take benefit of these particular sessions. Thank you all.